Okay, so welcome to this week's episode of the Spooky Second Podcast by the Paranormal Society. This week we have the new promotions director, JD, me, our newest alumni, Bella,
Hello.
and our new equipment manager, Zach, hosting the podcast. For this episode, we will be talking with Sheila Kromer and Mike Dunning, the leads for the documentary called Our Untold Stories. So please introduce yourself. Let's start with Mike to the viewers and give a brief description of your experience investigating the paranormal before you started working on the project or Untold Stories.
So pretty much I've always been very curious with paranormal. As a child, I had some experience that was just mind-boggling that I didn't know what to do. So as I got older, I knew I wanted to get into what I like to do. And since 2005, I've been ghost hunting and been in groups here and there. And by the time me and Sheila got together a couple of years ago, we started getting more serious, and we just want to get everything going the right way and travel more and show history and tell what it's all about.
I'm Sheila Kromer. I do a lot of the videos, editing for the video. I'm a photographer as well, so I started doing video with that, and I just found out paranormal. Like Mike said, we've been doing this forever, but we just started the documentary about a year ago. And we just love what we do.
So what was the original scope for the project? What were you guys aiming to do?
Pretty much the history and tell people about the places, and then when you get to the darker history, that it's something haunted there to it, with the history itself on top of the property or something, a haunted place. So that's kind of what we want to do, is in between, I'd say, right?
Yeah, so we pretty much start off with the history of the place we go to. We try to get whoever owns the place or the manager to give us, a tour or tell us about the place, and then we kind of do our investigation, and then we show you guys the evidence what we catch.
Okay, you guys are not gonna play. But then,
what was the one place that you liked the most you would go again if you could?
I'd say Hinsdale. It's probably the scariest place.
Yeah, Hinsdale's probably.
Yeah, it always calls you back.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've seen full body apparitions there, and the owner Dan is awesome.
Yeah.
We're going back there September 2nd, so stay tuned for that.
Are you guys going to be doing live during that? Or just
yes, yeah, we'll do live as well. We try to do live throughout all of our investigations, just so you guys can see what's going on, what we see. Sometimes we don't see certain things, and people have pointed things out, like, did you see that shadow in the background? Or sometimes we don't see that, so we try to do that as much as we can.
So just curious. Well, I'm just curious how you guys do it. Do you guys do it live and then edit it to the documentary? Do you do that separate for set block of time?
Yeah, usually we'd go live for a while, and then we'll add all that into it after we get done with it.
We're filming throughout, like, our regular cameras, but then we do Facebook Live throughout the night as well. We use both video.
Yeah, usually she'll be going live, and I'll be following her on my camera, and vice versa. So. And then if any other people who are also doing this, we'll just have them filming too. So as much footage as you can catch, that's the best thing to do.
Just keep filming.
Yeah.
Do you guys have the infrared cameras?
Yep.
UV?
Yeah, night vision.
We don't have a.
Not the thermal imager.
Not thermal
that's the only
imager,
thing we're lacking. Thermal imager. We got pretty much everything else other than the thermal imager. Yeah.
So is that something you have to try to get?
Absolutely.
Supposedly, our friends looking into getting us one, so it'd be nice. But they're pricey. But to find the right one, you definitely gotta look around. So that's my only issue. So
we just got the SLS camera. So our next video I'm working on right now for the Iron Islands, we will be using. We use that a lot, so you will see that.
So besides like the camera, what equipment do you use the most?
Yeah, I got the Avalos 4. Use that quite a bit. We got Necrophonics, which does a lot of voices.
That's an app. Yeah.
It's an app itself, and you really get some pretty cool stuff that goes right along with your. Like it goes through the voice box and all that, but stuff that comes out like when you're on investigation, it makes sense. That goes right along with us, like that thing wouldn't be saying that. That's the crazy part. It's just it's got a voice box, but when the stuff comes through, that when you're at a specific location, it goes with that. That's when you know you're definitely making contact with spirit. So it's pretty cool stuff. That's a really cool one to run.
I think my just my regular recorder.
Yeah.
I just run it, and you can't fake that. So.
Yeah. No, I usually always go around with the EMF meters and do a sweep around, and I try to get as much as I can there, but half the time you don't get electronic interference, so that's always the tough part. So, but sometimes you can get some pretty communications with the EMF or something. K2 usually is pretty good too. So.
We're always buying new toys.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We just bought the cat balls, so those work pretty good.
Maxed out my credit cards from buying over the years. Well, too much I'm not going to say.
One of us tried. One of us tried to buy
I
it.
probably should have an insurance on myself and how much I have in here. So.
Well, one of us will try to buy. Like I just bought the SLS camera, so then he'll buy something else. So we're not like buying the same things. So.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're both doing it together.
Yeah,
so
we
it's like
share
you might as
everything
well.
that I have and go back and
That's
forth.
smart, actually.
He's got more stuff. I'm still working on that. But
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So the one thing I was curious about is if you guys were gonna go into like trying to produce events like actually in our area, because there's a lot of area around us that doesn't.
Yeah, we're definitely thinking right now. We'd like to do paracons. We're actually planning on going out to West Virginia Penitentiary. They got a paracon coming up in August 13th, so we're definitely going to try to go out to there and hope to have you guys go along too. That'd be cool.
That would be
You guys
awesome.
tag
I would be
along.
so
You said
down.
August 13th?
Yeah,
Actually,
13th, you just put a table down for $50 and you get to run the whole place around and then ghost night.
Shoot.
And then it's part of the deal where you guys could be able to ghost hunt that night with them too. So
You should
That would
if you guys are
actually-
free. I can't go because I have to shoot a wedding. September 10th, I think it is.
Wildwood.
Yes,
Yep.
I already bought the
We're already
table.
booked.
Oh, are you?
Got
Okay,
there.
so he's gonna be running our table, so he'll see you guys there. But I
Yeah.
can't go. But
Yeah, we're trying to get more into the area where you can go to paracons or wherever. We're thinking about going down in July to New Jersey Paracon, so that's going to be going on the 23rd of November. July, so we're thinking about doing that. So
I definitely wanted to do that. I'm not sure if we could do that as part of the.
yeah, that's the only.
well,
issue,
I could
yeah.
drive my car if you guys want to do a road trip.
We'll throw you in the trunk
That
or
was
something.
already-
It's only like
Yeah.
$20, I think, a person. They said.
Yeah.
So,
I would do that.
they're gonna have all the people like
Should go drop myself.
a lot of people, famous people are gonna be there. So yeah, it's only like 7 hours from here, so I don't mind driving.
Shoot, I'm good with that.
So if you guys, you three
good.
want to go, that'd be.
Yeah,
That is
that'd
fun.
actually be awesome.
Yes, make a look into that.
Well, what about hosting events yourself? Like
Oh, yeah.
working with those
Yeah.
events?
Absolutely. I've always anything I can do in paranormal.
I've always wanted to do is take people who are always curious and go something. They always want to go something who never
Yeah.
can. So that'd be cool if we could start something up like that. Say, hey, we're going to
Or
take
ones
you
that
to a
don't
haunted.
believe.
Who don't believe we could
Mhm.
take you to a haunted place and let you ghost hunt with an actual professionals. Try to be professionals like we are.
Sure, yeah.
But take a person who's always wanted to ghost hunt. That'd be the key event that takes someone out ghost hunt. That'd be so cool if we can run a place and say, hey, so many people come to this and we're just trying to ghost hunt.
Well, that's essentially what we did with Andover Haunted House.
Yes.
Yes.
Before I actually got to know the guy by working there, I didn't really hear about it. So
Mhm.
we were recently able to actually do a tour at Andover for the public.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we hosted one like 5 years ago when I was in Ghost Hunting in the Southern Tier. We did it there a couple of times, and then we did the Naples Hotel as well. So we used to host both hunts there. So slowly but sure, you can do it. So it's neat stuff.
That's really cool. Yeah, we should definitely do something. I'm
so
honestly,
down.
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's not.
That's a really good
I
idea.
just
I
stay,
mean,
get a hotel overnight. And, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we just did
you get me excited.
Sleepover
yeah, we just did Iron Island. Like I said, that one's I'm working on that documentary now, and then the Naples Hotel. We just did that one too.
So where is your plans to go in the future? Where do you plan to take the project?
I would love to be able to travel all over if we can.
Yeah.
That's my dream, is to be able
Don't care
to.
about as long as we get the bills paid and someone else pay for us to go. That'd be the greatest thing. But
That'd
if
be
we could
really
travel
cool,
for
yeah.
life and go around all
my
these
dream, yeah.
historical areas and haunted locations, that's the dream.
It'd be cool to be famous, but
Yeah,
just
just
just have somebody
to show
help
the
pay
evidence.
for it
That's
and
my
stuff.
biggest thing. I want to show that there's life after that, and my thing's always showing it. That's my evidence. I just
Yeah,
want to
all
show
of our
people
evidence
because you
is
got
real.
so many people out there that doesn't believe in it. And if I can show that hard evidence that here we go. I give you all the EVPs you want, but try to get that
True evidence.
true evidence
camera
always tough.
Pictures
Like,
and all that. Yeah.
I got a little bit of stuff on camera and stuff like this. Okay, can't get that perfect thing.
It seems really hard to
Yeah.
get evidence through camera.
Yeah.
Because they know you're filming.
Yeah, no, that.
It's always once you shut it off.
Yeah.
I swear.
We'll do hidden. We gotta do like hidden cameras, but put it in teddy bear.
But you
Yeah.
can't talk
Hidden
about it once you
cameras
get
in a
there.
place
Oh,
that
yeah.
the spirits are like
Yeah.
usual. Like they're used to being in that area. They know what it looks like. They know
Yeah.
if something's out of place. You can put a hidden camera.
I
in.
think
I've been
Oh.
here
Dan
100
told me
years.
that
What
in
is
Hinsdale,
that?
Yeah.
the cameras they have set up.
Just go in
Somebody
there.
told me just to go in there, like if you put like a bag or something out, have a hidden camera there, and just don't talk, don't say you're filming, nothing.
Just go in there
That's where
like
they call the
you're
most
gonna hang
evidence.
out and just start
sit
get
down and
into
just
it and have a
kinda-
conversation and just hang out and before we get into the investigation. So like just sit
That's what we
there,
try to do. Yeah, we don't
You
go
can't
like
just-
right in and just kind of hang out.
You just don't mention at all about anything about
We
the
haven't
cameras
tried
or
it,
anything
but
like
we're
that.
trying. We're gonna think about doing that in September. Yeah, but I guess people have done that in Hinsdale and they got a lot more evidence. So
It's good to know.
Mhm.
Gotta have a code word for the camera.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Dan told us that. I think.
Potato. Is the potato
Joe
going?
Odyssey. Joe.
Oh, Joe, yeah,
Potato
Joe
was
from
rolling over.
Paranormal
Paranormal
Odyssey.
Odyssey told us that.
Yeah.
Yep, because he's done that before there, and he got.
So yeah, you just try to get wherever you can. Rochester, Buffalo is the place to get your name on. As long as you try to get in with people and we're well known, that's all you get well known. Try to or get your name out there. So all we can do. Support you guys, you support us. We're trying to do both. So, you know.
I got you.
No, definitely. Really, really good.
Yeah,
Good for blood.
There's
not
not too
too
many
many
of
of
us
us
in
in
this
this
area
area
It's
anymore.
very nice how open the paranormal community is
Oh, yeah.
to
Yeah.
paranormal unity.
Honest.
We're able to start a new club at a college and then talk to like Dan Cleus and
Mhm.
Amanda Wilmer, Spooky, and stuff. Actually talk to people in our area and set stuff up, do the podcast to connect with people that
Mhm.
people are very open to working together in the paranormal
Mhm.
community,
That's awesome.
and that's what's nice.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to meet people that are like you love it as much as you do, because most people
Mhm.
are like, "What do you do?"
Yeah, you're crazy, but hell,
You're
I'll
weird.
do it. I'll do it.
Honestly, it really shocked me how open the community was. I honestly thought when I first joined, it was like a really quiet, hush hush thing where it's like you mention it at all, everyone would be like, "Oh,
it's a
you're
cool.
witch."
You guys are
You know,
You're a witch.
yeah. Well, when I actually finally joined the club, when I really found out it was as open as I thought it was, it really shocked me. It
Mhm.
was awesome to know. I mean,
It's actually pretty cool. People are like, "That's so cool what you do," you know.
Yeah.
So it's very cool.
When I joined, I was scared to say anything because I still thought I would get called a liar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But no one called me a liar, and I was like, wow, I like these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Once you get to know your people in your group, or when we get to know each other, we're gonna know like if you feel something, you're not, it's real. Like
Mhm.
especially when we go out, like we were at Hinsdale last time, and I said we gotta go. Something's about to happen.
Yeah,
He
we
said
can read
no.
off each other pretty
I
good.
said no, we
so-
gotta go. And as soon as we started shutting the light off, the shadow came from out the living room and started chasing us out of the house. I said, I told you we gotta go. So yeah, it's
Just
just
careful when you open yourself. That's all I can say.
we
Yeah,
always
no,
stage,
yeah.
before we leave any place.
Every time we leave, you gotta say the prayer and always remember that white light protects us, and gotta use that as a thing. If not, and have some bad stuff on you. You always gotta
They still
have
follow me
protection
home,
and
though.
stuff like that. Stuff
It's
too.
good to know.
Yeah.
I gotta remember that next time.
It'd be cool to get into learning like lessons and stuff. You can get into that, or it'd be pretty neat to have help people on that way. If you got people who are got serious stuff going on, when I have like a house blessing, or reverends or priests who could help out with that kind of stuff, that'd be so cool to do stuff like that too.
Yeah, we made a couple house calls. We just had his friend. They've had some weird stuff. They've been redoing their kitchen, and they've
Yeah,
had
pretty much a
some.
rehab to a kitchen.
Yeah, they had us come in, and I instantly could connect something in this one area of the kitchen, and then we found out it was the owner that used to live there, the older lady. So yeah, we try to make house calls if people are having issues. Like we don't charge them obviously or anything,
So
but
you probably don't try to document a lot.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the hard. That's more private, but that's why we try to go at least once a month to bigger places. And
Or no locations and stuff.
if we could do it even more than once a month, that'd be awesome.
Mhm.
But yeah, so.
Have there been situations where you do a house call and they actually encourage it to like kind of broadcast it per se or release it, or
They
is
never
that-
actually mention it, but I think it's like a lot of them don't really know or understand why, like what we do, or like, well, what's this? So I think they are more like intrigued because, like, what does that equipment do and stuff. So it's like,
No,
but they
I know
got
that they're
kind
not
of,
going crazy too.
Yeah,
so
that's
a big
that's
thing,
the biggest
like,
thing. Like,
yeah.
oh,
So as long as we
Stuff
can
in
make
here,
them feel
stuff,
better
yeah.
and hopefully not stir it out more, we always say, we're not here to
Remove
do
that.
anything, remove them or anything, we just want to know who you are. So, yeah, most of them are pretty intrigued, but yeah, a lot of it they don't bring up about, oh, you can tape it if you want.
Oh,
I mean, we do like our recordings and stuff just to go over, but
yeah.
more it's the big stuff that we obviously record everything. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
Kind of curious what the answer to this question would be. But is there any place local that you guys would be like that you guys are interested in investigating, even though it's not open to?
the Dansville
Yeah,
Castle.
Castle, yeah.
Dansville Castle,
Castle on the hill.
It's always
yeah,
available.
Any
Just
other
don't be caught.
places?
Yeah.
Um, probably I haven't heard of someone through a local, but the poorhouse again, I like to do that one.
Yeah, before,
Yeah. We've been there once.
yeah.
I've been to that.
And anything that's haunted,
No,
I'm
no.
up for. So.
Yeah,
Because I've actually plotted on like Google Maps for my account all the haunted locations. There's
Mhm.
just like a big circle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
You check out Shadowlands.net. That's a good website. They give you a lot of information too. They have maps where they brings up what's haunted in New York and stuff like that. So that's a good place.
Is it just New York or is it
Oh, it's all
across?
over.
Yeah,
it's
it's
all
all
over.
over.
It's really cool. It's like Ghost 101 and
Oh,
everything's connected. Ghost Hunter Store's connected with it, so that's where they do a lot of their stuff and preaching through that. But it's really cool. If you need any information, definitely go to
That's actually
Shadowlands.net. That's the place to get a lot of stuff.
it's definitely good to know. I have to look into that more.
Yeah, like you can look up haunted places and they'll have stuff in this area. Alfred State comes up at the one kid who died there and stuff or whatever. They got stuff there, and then
Yeah.
that's how we found some other places that we wanted to check out. You just go on there and they give you local legends and stuff like that, and it's pretty neat.
And that's how we started, was just doing the basic cemetery stuff. And then about a year ago, I just I did do videography for my photo stuff, and I just fell in love with it. And it's kind of how it started. So we watch a lot of documentaries on YouTube. We watch you guys. Yeah.
Because we're great.
Yeah. So I've been watching. I've been watching your guys' stuff. And that's how we just kind of started, just working our way up, and I love it. So I can't imagine doing anything else right now.
A lot of cool people on YouTube right now, like big followers right now is Paranormal Quest. I like those guys. I follow them.
We're gonna meet them in Ohio, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
those are the guys in West Virginia. They're actually sponsoring it. So
The one guy you talked
David
to.
and all those
Yep.
guys, they're pretty cool guys. So I've been talking with them here and there a little bit just to get some information. So he likes to tag us and stuff and say, hey, get out here, try to get whoever we can to go to this. That's what they're trying to do is make it into a big event, like big Paragon. And so they're getting there. It's pretty neat things to do. Yeah.
You guys have any other questions?
Okay, so
Oh, she was ready.
I have a but right now, I think is my boyfriend watching? Can you tell? Okay.
Hi.
So here's the thing. I know he'll watch eventually. I'm trying to convince him to go on the tour in Hinsdale tomorrow. Is there anything you could say to help me convince him to go?
Is he more like the scarier the better?
He's kind of a skeptic, to be honest.
So I can tell you a couple stories.
Yeah, go off. I
Okay.
want him to go so bad.
We need conviction.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys know Dan owns the Hinsdale house. There's a lot of backstory about it. It'd probably take me an hour just to do that. But one of the stories is of two brothers were fighting in the backyard, and one supposedly it was over a girl, but there's never really there's evidence of that. But one had a gun, and he ended up shooting his brother in the back. I think he just got out of prison actually not long ago for that. Yep. Or were they? Yeah, there's different stories for it, but he ended up either way. He ended up shooting his brother. And the first time we investigated there, I was sitting on the couch, and my friend was across from me, and I could see a full-on. I thought it was a real person going up the stairs. I remember he had work boots on, jeans, a flannel shirt. Clear as day. And I was like, "Did you see that?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then we found out the story later on of the brothers, and that's what he was wearing, I guess. Was it flannel? Yeah. I know there's a lady on the lake. There's supposedly.
Just her boyfriend tuned out.
I just saw that.
We
Just
did.
oh yeah, because
We did lose a
Oh,
viewer.
that's funny.
Maybe he got
He's
out
like,
to order
he heard my
tickets.
name.
Bye. There's a lady on the lake that supposedly haunts the lake in a white dress. You can read the books of the Hinsdale House from Clara. They're amazing. Like those front to back.
And
They
then-
used to have like a lot of like them creeping through the windows when they were there and stuff,
Mhm.
and it's haunted. There used to be it's Indian burial ground there. There's Indian tree up there.
The house comes alive. That's all.
Yeah,
I
Was
say.
it the
last time we were there,
There's
it
no
actually
tr-
shook.
Yeah, there's
It
no
shook
trains
a
or
little
nothing.
bit.
We could actually
The
feel the
house?
place.
Yes.
It just
Was that
it
the-
came alive. You could
Bro.
feel it shaking, and it felt like a little tiny Richter scale going off.
Yeah.
You could feel just the place
That's
moved in.
really
And,
cool.
oh,
There's a
yeah.
book there when you go there that you can read of things happening to people. There was one a lady that in the living room that likes to. She said, "Please help me." We thought it was the person because they like to go in there. Everybody likes to go in there, check it out. And it was the middle of winter and there was no tracks, so it was. We played it back and it was a woman saying, "Please help me," and then the house shook. So
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
there's a lot. That's if you want evidence or if you're a skeptic, that's a place to go.
Mhm.
And Dan's awesome, so
He better go with me. I'll be so mad if he
he
doesn't
has to
go.
go.
With me.
So I'm not sure if we covered this specifically, but is there like, what are your guys's? Do you guys have any like dreams of working with specific people or groups,
Like famous people or just in general?
famous people?
Besides us.
Besides
Yeah,
us.
right.
Well, obviously, hopefully we work with you guys in the future too. Nick Ruff, obviously. Yeah, can't
Yeah.
forget him.
I
We love
him.
Kindred Spirits. I watch that a lot. We both do
Mhm.
to get ideas and see how they do it.
So seeing I was like into a lot of the stuff that happened at Hinsdale
Mhm.
through the TV that they did the TV series on Hinsdale, and I watched a lot of them before I went to Hinsdale. Like, what was their experience for Kindred Spirits and then going to Greystone?
I never seen the one that for Hinsdale, but I know Greystone Manor. They got a pretty good. Like, what evidence you're talking about? You talking about their
Like,
evidence?
what was the feeling of going to the Greystone
Oh,
Manor
for us, you
after
mean?
watching
Oh, I'm
Kindred
sorry.
Spirits
Okay.
special on?
We I think a lot of it was true. Like what they got, we kind of got a lot of Indian stuff. Um, there was one room in particular upstairs. I'm not sure if they mentioned it. Was it with the dolls? That was the creep. Tommy's was it Tommy? I thought so. There's one room that has like dolls like all
Mhm.
over. That place was kind of creepy. But I know, yeah. I don't know.
A couple of the rooms definitely got some crazy stuff. The gold room and the red room, they definitely.
Basement is the very yeah.
A lot of
stuff
her
in the
items
basement.
there come from all over the place.
Yeah.
So she
Getting
gets a
all
lot of
sorts of
antiquing
attachments.
and there's a lot of attachment. I guarantee they got a lot of cool
Mhm.
antiques and whatever they go to. They go to a lot of sales and stuff, estate sales and buy stuff like that. So they're always picking cool stuff up, and the stuff you buy right there has definitely got some attachments. Like she's got a little jockey uniform. There's no electric around. There's nothing. Keep going by and all. Our K2s just go crazy. We took that jockey out to see if there's anything by that wall. There was nothing hitting it. We hit that with a K2. Lights right up. Like, what's going on? We can't even figure it out. And it's just stuff like that. Definitely think there's an attachment to the jockey uniform. There's just special items there. She's got a trunk from the Holocaust there that has some pretty crazy stuff. The doors will open up in the closet where it's being located right now, and
No.
she'll go up there,
Yeah,
door
she's
wide
got-
open, and when she closed it, she's like, okay, and that's where it sits in the closet, and she'll come in there and it's always open and
I
stuff
would
like
simply
that.
take
So,
the door off.
yeah, but she's got a lot of cool
Scrooge,
artifacts
bye.
and a lot of cool stuff though. But yeah, definitely a place to go for sure.
The backyard's pretty haunted too. They've got a lot of. I know she was when I did talk to her a couple weeks ago. She's talking about like UFOs. They've been getting a lot of weird lights in the sky over there.
Hmm.
So
That's actually a lot of times I've
Yeah.
been told that's like they're really
Yeah.
skeptic, especially when they mention UFOs. Like those are real, stuff like
Mhm.
that.
No.
I've never seen anything like
Yeah.
that. But I mean,
Aliens
Yeah.
scare me so bad
I
because I
believe
know
it.
they're
It's just-
there. I
it's
just
there
don't
for
want to
sure,
think
but it's
about
just-
Well,
it.
the question
Yeah.
for that is, how much of science do we really know?
Exactly.
Don't say that,
I
JD.
forget who told me, but they said maybe I saw it on a show, but paranormal field is kind of stagnant when it comes to science, like upping their equipment and stuff the last couple of
Yeah.
years, and it's like
It said someday we're gonna be able to put glasses on and we're gonna be able to see what they see on TV
Yeah.
shows and stuff like that. And
Google
forms.
ones.
So it'd be nice to have all the equipment right there on
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
glass,
exactly.
or in
Like-
one device. Like the
Mhm.
EDI is kind of like this, but it has a few missing parts.
Mhm.
That's definitely my favorite piece of equipment is
Yeah.
the EDI.
Mhm.
Which one's that one?
The one that It has several
Me too.
different sensors built in, so that you can measure a lot of the stuff right in one device.
Oh yeah,
It
okay.
has a lot of lights and
I know
stuff.
what you're talking
I think Jill just built one of those, didn't he? Something similar to it.
So is there any like equipment like you use unconventionally? Like sometimes Kenny will put like a glow stick like on a string in a doorway and like see if it sways.
Yeah,
and-
sometimes you can
Yeah,
do
you don't
that
have to always
with
have
flashlights
a
and
yeah, the flashlight. We haven't used that. Well, the flashlight trick, you just turn on a
Mag light.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be expensive equipment to get stuff. But like I said, my favorite is my recorder. We use the Necrophonic app. That's pretty good. I usually don't use like apps really like that, but that one and the Huff Paranormal or Huff app that works pretty good.
But your number one ghost hunting tool is definitely be your recorder for sure. You're always going to be eating peas, so that's your best evidence
And
for
yourself.
anything. So on
I
yourself.
was gonna
so,
say,
yeah,
body is.
exactly.
Especially we just went to Palmera as well. You guys I'll send my YouTube link so you guys want to watch that. I have different there on YouTube. We went to Palmera and that was yeah, my YouTube channel. Yeah, forgot what I was going with that.
Yeah, don't even.
Oh yeah, the device. So we were there and we kept
Look
hearing
at
there
the
was
camera.
there's this little girl that's in Palmera that hides underneath the table, and we kept hearing. We were trying to talk to her, and I kept hearing something across from the other room, and I would say, "I just heard a hey" or whatever, and we're recording, and you can hear me say, "I just heard a hey," and then you could hear it on the recorder as well. So I'm like, I'm not
That's
crazy. I know
cool.
what I'm
Yeah.
hearing. So that was a
Always
good
gotta have something
example.
else in the background running, another camera, another recorder. Always have it going, and then you can always show that evidence that what they're hearing is what they're picking up, and definitely does that.
Especially me saying that becoming, I'm a psychic or whatever. So when I hear that, I'm trying to learn it still. I know that it's real and I'm not going crazy. So it's like myself and my recorder is my two. I always have my recorder with me. It's either my purse or my car. So
Yeah.
you just never know when you need it.
Yeah. Girly things.
Yeah, there's other girly things too.
So I actually just thought of like theories seeing almost half an hour. What do you guys actually think spirits are?
I definitely believe in that there's a spirit and then there's a soul. That's how I see it. So I believe there's two different. One goes to heaven and the other one can go in between. I believe pretty much. So I believe it's the energy that after you die, it's still here, kind of, and always watching out for us. And then you get those ones that don't know they're dead, and those are the ones you like to help if you can, but try to explain to them, hey,
You're stuck.
you're stuck. I'm sorry. We'll try to do what we can do for you, but yeah, I definitely believe in spirit and the soul. Two spirit for the main part of it. I think something like that.
I think that just since my dad passed away, I've been doing it obviously a lot more. Just seeing how much he comes through, and then I just recently went to a psychic who told me, "Oh, I was a psychic medium myself." I think just from learning what I did over the years, I definitely think that they can, just from my recordings as I've learned, I've gotten like the words doorway and different things. So I think they can travel, if I say, "Oh, is my dad here?" They're like, "He's not here right now." I got that the other day actually. So it's like I think they do bounce around from like visiting people, and I'm not sure. I guess like for the whole soul thing too, but I definitely they don't stay in one spot. I think they can go from
Yeah.
Earth to heaven.
Do you
What do
believe
you
in the
guys
whole?
think?
Okay, so like, so my mom has always told me because we lived in a really creepy house. It was bad. It was like traumatic. You know what I mean? She would always tell us like demons don't exist. She believed in ghosts, but she would always tell us demons don't exist. Yes, they do.
I have a story
Yes,
for that
they
too.
do.
We've had a place where we had all the signs. There's like 11 signs, and we had all 9 of them. That place back in the day. Definitely, that's a place we could open up for definitely a ghost house.
Oh yeah,
people non-town, we can make
a
money.
friend's house, yeah.
Friend's house,
I'm not
we
gonna
had
say
that
what,
place.
but yeah.
Oh yeah, place we did have, man. That'd be like the top place to take people. But being there, we weren't definitely messing around with something dark there. Constantly always going after this and doing stuff that affected me all the time. It affected her, and you always were afraid to go upstairs, downstairs, somewhere else. The place was messed up. So.
I've had an attachment, like I told you guys before, with my neighbor. He was into demonic stuff and realized at the time. For weeks on end, something attached to me because I got too close to him, and I was like physically puking, like I called my mom at 3 o'clock in the morning one time. I'm like, I'm scared. Like, I don't do that. Like, I'm
Mhm.
too old to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's seen it. Like, he's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. And then,
Yeah.
so I've seen dark shadows around him. I believe in them. That's for sure. So.
Mhm.
So
46.
So when it comes to like when you mentioned that demonic presence, what precautions do you take to prevent being attached or anything like that?
I always wear St. Michael's, and I get a blessing. So I wear them, and I have to put the cross on. Just try to always remember white light will protect you. That's what you got to keep saying to yourself.
Mhm.
White light protects you, even if you believe in what you do. You just gotta believe there's that light that's gonna protect you. And always have that over you, that shroud over you that's gonna protect you. So it's the way I do it. We do blessings. We have sage. We always, after investigation, we always do the sage burning, and we kind of do like a little prayer if we can. Or they have different items of stuff you should take. Make sure nothing attached to yourself. That. So
I recently started using kosher salt around my house. That gets away evil spirits, wards evil energy in a negative way. I also carry this. It's like a little jewel thing. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it pretty much gets away evil spirits. I always have.
In Chenango, we learned that you need to be very careful with what you say. Were you there for that?
Yeah.
So our friend Paul, bless Paul,
We love him, but
he's a skeptic, and he was really trying to get this one spirit to talk. And he says, "What's your name? What's your name?" And then he says, "I'll give you my name, Paul." And everyone's like, "Don't say that.
do that.
Don't say I'll give you my name."
It's like your whole
they'll
identity.
get in there. They'll get in there, you know. So
or use my body for energy.
Yeah.
So use
Yeah, Mike.
Use me as a conductor.
But that was around the same, like, this is a lead into something else, but that was around the same time that I received, like, a very good, credible piece of evidence that through the spirit box there was a voice that sounded a lot like mine that actually said something else.
That was, oh my gosh.
That's a big sign.
I remember that.
Let me tell you what
Manipulate
happened.
your voice.
That was the scariest. That was the first thing I told my mom. Yeah, it was literally his voice. It was his voice out of the. It was the weirdest thing. I was literally like, how did JD come out of this spirit
I was like,
box?
is he like
It was
throwing
him.
his voice?
Just glad that we had Kenny Harrison there at that time, because that could have become a very bad situation.
Yeah, and
What did he
we
do?
said, like, why are you mocking me? Why are you mocking him? And it said, it's funny. It's funny. We're like, it's dog, and it's not funny.
And it's always in threes, like 3 knocks. You can hear that.
I mean, it didn't really intimidate me. It just surprised me because I wasn't expecting it, and I was half listening.
Scared me so bad. I was terrified. So scared.
Yeah, when I actually went to the psychic, she brought up, that's another thing I shared 2 years ago. She brought up the shadow guy, the demonic shadow guy. And I didn't tell her, like, you know, who it was, obviously. I didn't know what it was, but she said it's never been human, but it's still with me always. She said just keep praying, and it's always going to be there, though. But it's so once you get a slight attachment, it's like it's almost, it never goes away. It's just
permanent.
It's like a succubus. It's always there with you. It's just, it's that dark
just
thing
keep it
on
in the
your
background,
shoulder
though.
that you just want to make sure it's always back there and it's not interfering with your life. And it's just attachment, but you just
kind of push it to the
just
side.
can't.
Like
You just got to go on with it. But yeah, I'd go with the same person that she went to way many years ago. That's what she told me. I always have that thing over my shoulder. It's always there and it's always been attached, and there's no way to really get rid of it. You just got to work and ignore it. So, cool.
Luckily, the one time I did have Casey actually like do a blessing or something, like get stuff off of me. She said that I had a protection on me. I'm not sure where.
Oh,
Bougie. Cool. I'll stick
I
by
guess
you a little more
at the same
often.
time, for some people, you just don't know when it comes from. Like, it could have been a past way loved someone that did that.
Or your spirit guide. I have a spirit guide always. Everybody
could
has
happen
one.
at different times.
I have my dad, my grandma, and then I have a spirit guide. It's an Amazon woman. She told me. And I always hear a woman's voice. Like every time I hear her, I know there's something bad's gonna happen. But she gave me a warning, and every time it
She always
does.
says Sheila, so it's like
Oh,
trying to always get her. It's always Sheila. It's like
Like,
why
say
can't you do
something
it more?
else.
But always say Sheila. But it's like it gets her attention. But it's always Sheila.
But we've caught it on recording, so I know.
Yeah, we're always getting Sheila nonstop on recordings, on our necroponics, on everything. We always get Sheila. It's like
or because I'm more sensitive, I think, to it. So
Comes across on our ovuluses, all that stuff. You always get Sheila. Sometimes I'll get my name, but she's always constantly being called out.
Celebrity.
lucky me.
Yeah.
I've heard spirit guide a lot. What exactly is a spirit guide, or
Pretty much like a guardian angel.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay.
I don't think they've ever been human. What she told me, I lied. She told me. I'm trying to remember. I think she said that they have to live like 2 lifetimes, and then they become a spirit guide, or something like that. I forget my name, but mine's more of I actually found out the other day. It's more with water, and I'm obsessed with water. Like I love anything with water, so that makes sense.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like CP.
That's so
Oh,
funny.
CPU, join me. What's good?
Oh, dear.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I had a question. I lost it.
Oh, I have one
Oh,
right
perfect.
here.
All right then.
So, with your documentary, is there anything, any like groundbreaking evidence or something super cool that you're super excited to show people?
The one we just did, Local Legends, it just came out the other day. I try to only keep them like 45 minutes because I don't want to have them too long, but if you guys don't want to watch the whole thing, if you scroll to the end, we were just at Fewsburg, it's near Jamestown. It's a really scary cemetery, local legend. Some of the local people kind of talk to us about it and stuff, and I just showed you guys the picture we caught of, looks like an alien looking thing near the entryway, so that was pretty cool, but we've seen a lot of stuff move, we just never caught it on camera. So of
I
course,
swear they know.
It's
I
always your
swear they
personal
know.
experience. You always
Yeah.
have something happen to you, you feel it, or you see it, but then when you go to look at the evidence, it's not there. It's like, we've seen it, we felt it, and that's the thing. It's all about trying to catch that evidence, and it's so tough. Yeah.
The picture that you did show us, terrifying. Where was that?
it's called Fewsburg Cemetery. It's up near Jamestown. It's just
on
like
the state land.
it's just middle. It's surrounded by woods. We also have
It's got
another
a lot of
one.
dark stories, a lot of legends too.
Yep.
Little girl was stoned to death there, and
Yeah. I think
just
she had
'cause she had
mental
disability.
disabilities.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Murphy.
the town
That's
people
terrible.
chased her up there into the graveyard, and just because she had a disability, and they pretty much killed her up there. And there's other legends, and there's just a lot of crazy stuff in that way. But it's all up in state land, so you never knew who was going to be up in there. So it's in the middle of nowhere. That's just a weird thing. It's just but
That's the same with Club Knocky here.
Yeah.
It's literally 5 minutes down the road.
yeah.
That's another thing we use. The
at all.
estate, is it Estes method? Is that how you say it?
Estes method.
Yep. We use that a lot. That's we have the headphones on and then cover your eyes. We did that up there, and we got stones, which they kind of, and then we got about witches. So we actually found out there was witches that were home there. So it was, it shuts down the rest of your, other. So just you focus on. So it's like it's scary though, because it's like you can't see. You're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But it works.
So
It works every time.
You pretty much got headphones on, and then you put the mask on, and then you run your spirit box, and that's what it pretty much does. Whatever the spirits are saying, you like pretty much say it out, and then you have your friends like them ask you questions, and it comes out.
You can't hear them.
You can't hear them, so it goes along with what you're saying, and then it's supposed to be cool evidence right there too.
But it also makes you kind of scared because it makes you vulnerable a little bit.
Yeah, opens you up too much too, because you're like, but
that's our best equipment as well.
Yeah, that's my.
That's so neat. I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Neat stuff, but it can be a little scary. But
we got that from Kindred Spirits too. We've been using it ever since.
Yeah,
works really well.
Starting to get more popular into a lot of people getting into it.
But then there's sometimes, I know you got a little bit of evidence that time. My brother tried it, and then for like 20 minutes he got nothing, and then as soon as I got it on, it came right in. So I think it just depends on who they want to talk to. So. But as you guys know, the more you do it with the paranormal, the more you guys get involved. And I could walk away now and I'd still have experiences. So, like for a while, I didn't do it for like 6 or 7 months.
I know you're
and
making
I still,
a connection with them. It's going to be nonstop. So long as you keep doing it for years and years, you're a beacon to them. They're just always going to keep reaching out.
Like specific areas, or like in general?
In general,
Yeah.
spirits, like anywhere, usually I can sense most of the time.
Well, it's because of how aware you are.
Yep. Yeah.
When I saw,
I believe your aura would do it too, because your aura changes and all that stuff.
I can read auras and stuff too. And Heather told me one time when I talked to her from Greystone that I was like a blue light in a dark room that they, no matter what, they just like flock to you. So, and certain people, and the more you do it, I think it's just how it is. So.
I feel like if I was like a ghost and someone was talking to me, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
I would be
You would not
bugging
stop
them
talking.
all
And that's
day
the thing, they're not
long.
used to that, you know. You can go walk
Mhm.
into a place and they're like, they're talking to you. They're not used to. They're trying to get somebody's attention. Finally, somebody's there to talk to.
Mhm.
They have a
Or
voice too,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
and
In theory.
I remember learning that obviously the day you die is probably like a super traumatic day. You
Mhm.
probably don't want to talk about it that much.
Mhm.
So like they almost always respond to what's your favorite color? Like, oh, I'll tell you my favorite color. Thanks for not asking how I died. Like that's nice.
Actually, Heather from Greystone, I read one of her books, and she said that from what she's like, angels have told her that, you know, you go into this room almost like you sit down in front of a TV and you watch your life, and that's kind of how you started. So it's like, I know we won't know until we get there, but I thought that was pretty cool. So.
My mom had a near-death experience. Well, she died. My mom died, and
Mhm.
she did the whole going to heaven thing. And she told me that's exactly how it is. She says you watch it and you feel everything.
It's funny that she
the
said
way,
that too.
yeah,
That's
she
so-
says you feel everything the way you made somebody else feel.
It's good or bad, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's so crazy. That's so weird.
Mhm,
That could be
yeah.
terrifying.
Right? I'm like thinking about the time I broke my sister's leg on a trampoline.
Right.
Sorry to
so, many
feel that.
times, so many times you lied to certain people. You
I
know?
know. Yeah.
I actually died when I was a baby. Twice my heart stopped. So they say if you have near death experience, you'd be more prone to be
Maybe that's
have
why.
abilities. So maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is.
The one podcast we did with Tim Shaw, he said that we all have the abilities.
Yep.
It's just the amount that you work.
Exactly. Because some people are just like, I don't want to do it. You know? But they say that a lot of it's hereditary. They I was told that it's my mom's side, but she is not into it. So it's like some people.
Oh, thanks, guys.
We got a heart.
We got a
cool.
got a hug and a heart. That's
Sue
We doing
Grossman.
good?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my phone.
Oh, Sue,
Thank you, Sue.
what's up? Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I feel love.
I'm actually pay attention to.
Well, I was hoping it was from my boyfriend, but it was from Sue.
I'm pretty sure he dipped as soon as you mentioned him. He's like, nah, I'm out.
I want him to go so bad, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he needs to go.
I was always inviting him to our club. Like I love the club. I love it. I was having the worst time at college. I found nobody I was fitting in with. Like there's all these like groups of people. I was in with none of the groups of people, you know? And then my friend Lauren was like, do you want to go to like the paranormal club? I was like, I think that's my calling.
Yeah.
My brothers had a little crew going when they were in high school out of Alfred Station. You know, we have not even a stoplight there. I don't think. So I've always been so interested, and I found the club, and it like only thing I look forward to. Only thing. It like really, you guys kept me going. Like, I was having a really hard time socially. And look at all these other people who have hard times socially.
You just click more, you know.
We've always, like, when I created it, I wanted it to be diverse. I wanted anybody to be part of it. Like, I wanted to go a lot of places, work with a lot of different people. And now looking back on it, it's achieved everything I wanted it to. So
You made us amazing.
I'm ready to pass it on to the next people. That's why I stepped down as president, to get them ready and keep them going. This semester definitely shows that it definitely achieved diversity.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we've done a lot of stuff over the last few years that shows that we've done a lot with a lot of people.
That's awesome.
Experience.
Yeah, if anybody watching, like, if anybody's interested in going with us ghost hunting, you know, we're always looking for people, or just if you guys aren't sure what it's like or want to just have experience, just get hold of us. So.
What would you recommend for like first timers to be ready mentally or physically or anything like that?
I think you can just do like we said, we started off as like just cemeteries, just because that's, you know, where you go to ghost hunting. Just do like all we started out was like a basic recorder. You don't need a lot of like starting out a lot of equipment.
Just your regular cell phone.
Night vision camera. That's a good one. But.
I would actually recommend a tour.
What?
Tour, like haunted guided tour.
They said tour.
I'll be a tutor.
I'll be the ghost.
So,
tutor, I
like
guess.
Oh,
in
tutor, I
Hinsdale
thought you
House,
said-
I thought that's what- yeah, no.
you
Okay.
do the tour. You have
Yes.
like somebody guiding you through
Yes,
the location. You get to experience
Yes.
it that way, but that's enough that you actually experience it,
Yes.
as opposed to the way that we started out.
Mhm.
That's what I said. If anybody's interested in it, we'd love to take anybody around. If you're a skeptic and you're not sure, that's my favorite. So
Mhm.
No.
do
My
it.
friend
I
is a
gotta
huge
take-
skeptic,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
and I keep convincing him. I was like, no, they're at least there. You just got to know how to communicate with them.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's try doing something. And I'm trying to set up like certain places we can go because he's a huge skeptic.
Mhm.
He's like, they don't exist. That's the evidence. That's just the wind or stuff like that. I'm like, it's clearly saying hi. That's not the wind. I didn't know the wind can talk.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah. I took all my buddies up to Cancerego one day to this big old cross, and they all would pick on me because I did this all the times. And I'm like, I'll show you guys, believer. We went up there at like midnight, and sure enough, they seen a shadow. You get 6 grown men screaming, crying. And I'm like, guys, don't run, don't run. I'm the one just walking peacefully, and they're all
Just
running to
get
the truck. They're out of here. And
Yeah.
I turned them into believers that night. They're like, no, you're nuts, dude. I'm like, okay, I'll take you somewhere. And sure enough,
I'll show you
they all
nuts.
turned into little girls, and they ran off screaming, crying. It's just so hilarious. The recordings, you hear them all crying and screaming. Like, I told you guys.
Can you talk about that
Yeah.
lesson?
What's that?
The cross in Kennesaw?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
St. Mary's.
the St. Mary's Cross. That's a pretty cool
I was up there
place.
yesterday,
A
actually.
lot of guys. That's a good place to go. It's got a lot of.
Would you say you guys caught a picture of?
Yeah, it looks like a slave.
KKK or
It looked like
something?
someone being the actual mist and all that. Like a formed a person. It looked like they're pulling them with a chain. You can actually see the person, like
KKK.
kind of like the KKK or like the Grim Reaper pulling someone along. And
See, I've never seen the picture, but
And then
you
I was up
confused them
there,
before.
my very first time I went up there, and I didn't believe it, and I felt something grabbing on my shirt, and I went to pull my shirt down because my shirt was pulled up, and as soon as I did that, my hat flew off me. It went like 6 feet up in the air, and I just had to like, hey guys, my hat just flying off. I was like, okay, and they're like, the other people are all freaking out, and it's just like,
day in paradise.
okay.
We should talk about the
Yeah,
church
so-
incident. The church incident.
Yeah.
Oh, go off. Tell me.
But the
Oh.
Kennesaw Cemetery, is that what it was?
This is not the main
St.
one. This
Mary's
is St.
one.
Mary's. This one's so when you're gonna go into town, you come to the 4-way. As soon as you come to the 4-way, you take a right and you go up the hill.
By the
go down a
little
little bit.
jail there?
You got the little jail. We just actually.
Oh,
did
that's
that
the big
2 weeks,
one.
But
No,
that's
yep.
that's the not by the big one. This is a different.
Yeah, if you just Google St. Mary's, it'll come up. Yeah, that's the regular one. Yeah,
You pretty much come right up to it and you drive up the hill and you see this huge cross. It just
We're doing
powers
it.
the whole place. But that's really
No,
cool.
definitely.
Yeah, we just recorded at the jail. That's our second
Yeah,
one
that's
we
good.
did, and that one
Yeah.
we just did a recording and we got stuff there like
Yeah.
it was a mail.
So that was actually one of the first like professional things I set up was the
Okay.
jail. But it was done during the day because
Mhm.
we
Yeah,
made
that's
it
what we had to do
up
too.
to
Yeah.
that point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that place was haunted too. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. You still get stuff in the day.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we sure
yeah.
do.
You don't have to
Yeah.
go sending at
Yeah,
night.
we do day tours all the time. We're always going out looking at places and we're always still picking up with our EVPs or whatever.
So we're always looking for new places. So if any of the viewers have any, issues at their house, even if they want us to come, if we don't charge, obviously. We could do that. You guys are welcome to join us too if you know anybody. And then if you have new places you want us to check out, just let us know.
Okay. Let me tell you real quick about my boyfriend's house. I mean, I live there, so it's kind of but again, he doesn't believe in that sort of thing. Not really. I think maybe he's leaning
Mhm.
on the fence.
We need something
I just
really
wanna
bad
push
to
him.
happen.
I know. His house, someone was metal detecting last week, and his house he has twin sisters or two. They played peekaboo on the staircase.
Mhm.
To this,
who's that?
oh, I know.
Oh my
And
god.
they'll- and they'll
Yeah,
tell
they're
me,
like the best thing too
They'll
because
tell
they
me-
see stuff
Yeah.
that you
They'll be
don't see.
Yeah.
Bella, who's on the stairs? I'm like, girl, you told me I can't.
You
You know,
did.
you told me I can't
Yeah.
see. But the metal detector was going crazy around the house, and he's like, "Your house has got to be haunted." Yeah, I guess he's big into the paranormal. He's like, "This is what happens with haunted houses." But what happened was, I walked out of his room, and the door behind me slammed. Slammed, and I thought, maybe his window's open and it like suctioned shut, the way they do that and scare you. So I went back in, and his window was open, and it dropped a little bit, and I was like, okay, now I gotta see if it's like on there, right? I'm an investigator. I investigate. So I'm walking to check it, and it picks back up like 2 inches, and I was like, okay,
That ain't
okay.
gravity. That ain't
Like
gravity.
the ghost literally must have been there, like, let me help her. Let me
That's
help
me when I
her.
die. I'm sorry. just make fun of people.
I know.
That's messed up. Wait a minute.
I actually have a story about that. Little kids. When my dad passed away, my sister. Hopefully they don't yell at me for telling a story, but it'll be okay. So my niece is 5, and
And then
my dad just
3
passed away
people
that
watching
night.
right now.
3.
Yeah.
3 people right now, yeah.
We're crazy.
So my dad passed away on September 1st, and my sister was making dinner, and my niece was in the living room. She couldn't hear her, and she was like just gonna tell her, she just knew Grandpa was sick. So before he died, we were like, just make sure you watch over him, especially my niece. Now my dad used to be there. When he'd go visit, he'd always go on the porch and smoke a cigarette. Well, they sat down for dinner, and my niece was like, Mom, why is Grandpa outside smoking a cigarette? And she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, he's out there smoking a cigarette. She didn't know he passed away.
Oh,
So that's when you say about little kids, they can see. Yeah.
One thing. Oh, sorry.
Oh no. Okay. So my little sister, again, in the super traumatic, scary house we lived in, of course she had a freaking imaginary friend.
yeah.
Of course
Oh.
she did.
You always do.
And he was naughty, he was mischievous, and and he scratched us. That was the thing. We'd wake up with scratches. She'd be like, Mr. Shadow. She called him Mr. Shadow. Always
that's
called
scary.
him. Well, here's the thing. It's like, I asked her, like, let's draw a picture of Mr. Shadow. She was little. And she would get so frustrated and she gave up. She'd be like, I can't do it. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't? Like, she goes, he's a normal guy. He looks like a normal guy. And I said, so why do you call him Mr. Shadow? She goes, when you see him, he's a shadow.
Oh,
Little kid.
Interesting.
That's
Of
scary.
course, we always saw shadows. Yeah. And she was little. I remember one time we were outside and we had this big tree outside. Well, obviously it was outside, but there was a tire swing, and one day she's like, that's where Mr. Shadow lives, and she like points at the tree. And I was like, he lives in the tree? She goes, no, he hangs from his braid. He just sleeps there. She says he sleeps in the tree. I know. And his name was Mr. Shadow. And he scratched us, and she'd tell us, Mr. Shadow scratched you. Sure enough, there'd be scratches. We all slept in the same room upstairs. I have 4 siblings. We all slept in the same room. My mom would yell up the steps at us, stop running around. I can hear you running, laughing. And we're all there terrified. None of us are running. Sage would be like, stop it, Mr. Shadow. Like, oh. And yeah, when it first started happening, my mom said, like, this guy is scaring me. And one time she told me that he laid on the ceiling over her bed. But like, my mom was like, if he's bothering you, just tell him to go away. And it was so scary to hear my little baby sister be like, go away, go all night, go away.
That's so sad.
Oh my gosh, terrible. Mr. Shadow was a jerk, and he wore a hat. I guess he wore a hat.
One thing they always say that you can always tell the little kids telling the truth is, like, my niece used to draw this other thing. I don't know if she said it like just to get like blame it on them if she got in trouble, but she used to say, the girl that bumps into things she can't see. And then my sister would be like, oh, well, draw her. Or you see, have people say, draw them. They always draw the exact same outfit every single time. I used to watch a kid when I worked at my old job I used to work at, and she would say, her parents would talk about, oh, they have a friend at home, and she would draw, even at school, she would draw the same exact thing every single day, different, exact same outfit. Usually when kids do that, they don't do the exact same outfit, so that's when you can tell. Yeah,
that is
that's
so
a big
cool.
clue right
I
there.
never even thought.
Yeah, that's a big clue right there.
Oh, little kids are scary.
Yeah. It's even scarier as little kids, but yeah.
I know, because they're like not scared, like Sage, my sister, she wasn't like scared of him.
Because they don't know the difference.
Yeah, but and she just talked about Mr. Shadow, and we that's what we thought it was. We thought she was just being bad, and then it was like the scratching and like that house was so bad. And everything was Mr. Shadow, you know what I mean? He peeked. That was one thing. I hate those peeker ghosts. The ones like the doorway ones. Can't stand them. He was one of those, and she would talk. She would say,
we got a couple pictures like that.
Oh no, I hate those. Like don't peek. They know they're being scary. I swear. I hate when they know they're being scary. I know this is like what I do.
It's when you're in that moment though, especially when it's like you're in outside in the middle of nowhere and it's pitch black out, you can't see 2 feet in front of you.
Oh yeah, so
it's
bad.
scary.
That's part of the reason I don't like leaving the cell house.
Yes.
No.
Yep, I agree.
I'm gonna do it. Let's run
It's always
laps.
safe to be into.
We'll do the
They actually say outside, the lane itself is more haunted than the house. But
really?
That's why we want to go back.
Guys.
Yeah, we want to do more
That's
of the
what
outside
Our
this
next time
time
we want to do outside.
because it was winter time last
Buddy
time.
system. Buddy
Yes.
system. We're,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm never by
Yeah,
I'm
myself.
too terrified to
With
do that.
three.
But like,
Well,
yeah.
even when you're outside, though, you don't. It's not even like spirits, like animals. You don't know like what. So
Yeah,
at least have
it's
one
true.
We're
person.
gonna try doing like reenacting too, like
Yeah, I'm gonna have me and my
creating
sister do
stuff.
like wear the girl in the white dress.
Yeah.
version
Try to
and
get
stuff.
shotgun and
That
all
is
that
so
stuff and try to
So
get
we're
blank
trying to
rounds to
doing
shoot
that.
off. We're gonna try to do like reaction of
That'll
reenacting it. That'd be cool to see if we can get stuff going too.
that'll set him off for sure.
Yeah.
See, Dan is doing a lot with that because he's doing a lot of documentaries.
Mhm.
Like, he's the documentary and a lot of stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
he's offering opportunities for people to do the acting and actually get on the shows and
Yeah,
stuff.
see that.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Lots of neat opportunities going on right now.
That's
Mhm.
awesome. I'm up for it.
Definitely.
And I'm free all the time.
Yes.
I'm bored all the time. And so if you guys are going anywhere,
Yes.
I know we just met, but
No.
we did a podcast
We have a
together.
connection already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put a lot of links in this video. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have fun
Yeah.
with that.
Good luck, buddy.
Equipment tech, actually.
Yeah.
Equipment tech.
Oh yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions?
Other than the place in Hornell, like, what was the story for the church in Hornell, I believe?
Oh yeah. So this is way before we started doing the documentary, but he used with Boy Scouts. He went to this church in
Yeah, we used to do a
Hornell.
walk-in at First Baptist Church.
Yeah.
They're probably not too happy, but we ghost hunted in there and we went up in the organist room. And
Oh,
as a kid, I always was freaked out in that room. I always go to Sunday school class, you go up the stair steps, and you always had to look in that creepy room. And so I took them up there one of the nights when we were doing the Boy Scout walk-in, and sure enough, we're in there and we're just doing recordings. And as soon as we started going, yeah,
There was like a vortex. I like blinked out. And I remember like my hair was like this, and I
It
looked
really
down,
stood
and it
up.
was up
You
like
see
that.
that?
Of course, we weren't recording because we weren't doing that.
we got a chair thrown and it
Oh.
came flying right at
At
us.
church?
And,
Yeah,
church.
you know what?
Church.
If church can't stop it, I don't know if anything
I was like,
can.
what is it?
Yeah.
with
And then we looked
churches?
back, and
Why
it was
would
like
it?
two
It could've been-
shadows. Yeah.
Oh yeah, person who was attached to the church. You know, I get lovely
Mm.
older people love the church, and that's
No.
probably what they got pissed.
They didn't like
when
us
they're disturbing
doing,
us,
You
yeah.
know, old
because
people
we
are
were in there in
evil.
the dark and talking and just going right at it, and not even 5 minutes in there, and something came flying at the corner, came right at us, and me and her blacked out. We're holding each other like little, we're scared out.
We're
Like, what are we
like,
doing? We're like screaming. We ran out there like
Yeah.
this was like
Yeah.
8 years ago, and it's
Yeah, it
like,
was a long time
yeah, we're like, okay.
Yeah. Some churches definitely are. I think sometimes people do stuff that they're not supposed to do there.
Yeah.
Like devil worshipping and different things.
Some
You just
people
don't
get
know.
into places
Oh,
that's
yeah.
pretty
bad,
sad.
and
Yes.
that's a scary thing.
What?
I don't know about that.
Why
place,
would
but
you
that,
do that?
yeah.
If I was a devil worshiper, you know, actually, I might go to. I'm not. I don't know. I'd probably go to the woods though.
Yeah.
You know.
That's where a lot of stuff happens.
I don't know.
Crazy stuff like they found skin ghosts up there
Oh,
before.
shut up.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Huh.
Many years ago that was.
Where is it?
Kankakee State Park.
Oh,
yeah.
you know, I just had my graduation party there.
Yeah,
Actually.
so that's. I'm sure there's a couple quotes from there.
Something to
So
check out.
There's a body
at
in the
nighttime,
dam.
keep
Yes,
away.
I heard about
Yeah,
that.
there's
Yes.
a body in the
Yeah.
dam.
I didn't know if they ever found that.
Nope, they did not find
was a woman,
the
right?
body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go scuba diving, guys.
I don't even know what it would look like.
Should go
now.
check that out and see if we
Yeah.
get
Only one way to find
Oh
out.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll like set up a
We'll
little.
Google it.
No. We'll set up a spirit box on like a canoe.
Yeah.
We'll be like,
That would be actually kind of cool.
say warmer
We
and
have
colder.
kayaks.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've actually always wanted to get a kayak. I've been
Yeah.
looking into getting one. Sorry, I didn't
No,
mean to
you're
go into
good.
the squirrel boat, but I just,
I thought you were gonna start talking about ghosts, and you were like straight to kayak.
well, I just remember when you guys said that you blacked out and you're really scared. I remember that I was at Chittenango, and
So bad.
it was when we were pitch black. I remember you also mentioned it was when we were talking about animals around Hinsdale. I remember there was a cat, the ghost cat. And not only I'm kind of convinced that was the one I was playing with the cat ball, but also it kept rubbing against me,
Yeah,
and
we
that
had
was the
that
most
too.
terrifying
Yeah.
experience. And it
It
jumped in my lap.
Yeah.
That was after I was
swear.
experiencing like a press down, you could feel
Yeah.
the floor move, and then you could hear the
Mhm.
sound with it.
Yep.
Like,
I don't know
As
what
soon as
type
I
of
sat
cat gets to
over,
be a
it got that
ghost.
weird feel. I had to immediately get up and move.
Didn't
yeah,
Clara have a
'cause I'm
pet?
actually a very scaredy cat
That's so
person
funny.
when it comes to being in the dark.
Like that lady got the
Me
You are-
24/7.
We are in the
Oh,
wrong
yeah.
line of work, guys.
Oh my lord. No, it was just the cat really got me because it jumped in my lap.
Oh, wow.
That's what really just like triggered me. I'm like,
can't even
please
tell
get down,
Oh,
please
there
get
is a
down.
spirit, a ghost dog at Hinsdale. The manager showed us a picture. You could see it clear as
See,
day.
it's awesome.
And then I
way.
think Dan did a video of a woman sleeping there, and you could see something crawl over her. I don't know if you guys saw that. She had a hedgehog. Clara
That's
had
what
like
it
a
looked like.
hedgehog, pet hedgehog, and they thought that's what it was.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
How do you communicate with, like, not communicate, but, well, I guess it is kind of communicate with animals.
Well,
Like the
Maybe
spirit
like trigger
animals.
objects, toys that trigger objects do awesome stuff.
Well, they
Okay.
understand us to a degree,
Oh, that is
and then
true.
they can interact with the equipment. So,
Yeah.
The thing with
Especially
the
with a cat, yeah.
Well,
that makes
here's
more
the
sense.
thing: is like they were talking about. They were on the side. I'm over here about a cat, and it's a ghost cat, and I didn't feel it, and then I felt it, and I'm like, no, like that's a cat.
I felt that too.
Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, no.
So-
I'm like, guys, it's not a ghost. Like it's a cat.
Yeah,
like
that's-
like that was it. I'm like, you guys are crazy, and I looked.
There's
I
no
felt I
cat.
felt it
You could
as
feel
I'm
it, like, on
looking.
your leg,
As
yeah.
I'm
That was-
looking.
That was the one time I was wearing shorts, and it was just all across
Oh,
my leg.
yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good today.
Yeah.
I want to go to bed.
That was the thing. Is like. I'm here to be scared. It's okay to be scared. That's what I was telling myself. Oh, it's terrifying. I'm here to be scared. It's okay. I'm like, I'm an investigator. I investigate. But, oh, that was terrifying.
One question I've had people ask me before is, what does it feel like to be touched by a ghost?
That was,
Um, I've had different ones, like Iron Island. Of course, my Facebook thing is gone now, but we had almost like it felt burning on our leg. It's nothing. We didn't get a scratch. It was burning. Sometimes it just feels like just little touches. I think it just depends on what you're communicating with. But
I was like,
I always say like you fall asleep, like your arm, like your hands.
Yeah, like the
something falls
numbness, like the
asleep,
tingling.
That
Yep.
tingling feeling you get.
that's a big one. Yeah.
For the coldness.
We went to you weren't there.
I
It was me.
I'm never there. I mean,
We went to Earlville. There's an opera house, and I was walking up the steps, and I swore my friend behind me, Lauren, I felt her grab my butt, and it was like a little close to the.
We're not going there.
Yeah, we're not going to that story. Not me, him. He had a funny experience.
Yeah, I got
It was
yeah,
Cancer,
bad.
yeah. Cancer, yeah.
It was a little close to the crack, and I turned around. I was like, Lauren,
no,
like Lauren.
now.
I was like, Lauren, you were really close to unspeakable places.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I turned around, and she's got all this stuff, and we're going up the
Yep.
steps. And I was like, something grabbed my butt. And no one's like,
I've
"What?"
had people come
Yeah,
grab my
no
butt,
one
too, yeah.
grabbed your butt.
Yeah.
And so then we
Especially when
went
they're
with-
talking to males.
Yeah.
Male spirits, you can tell.
we went with Kenny. Well, we talked to Kenny Harris, and I'm like, you're gonna call me crazy because his whole thing was like, it's a very nice place, and that was not nice.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to say anything. But I swore something grabbed my butt. I swore, and he was like, you know what? There is a ghost that always grabs butts. I'm like,
There you go.
I told you guys. And Scotty was like, I guess he did get groped. I'm like, I knew it. I need to hear about your butt getting touched, Mike.
It wasn't my butt. It was.
It was the whole probe.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
We were just filming.
We're just up
during
there
the day.
filming, and sure enough, it felt just like someone I could actually feel my.
You telling me? I'm like, I didn't
my
do
ass.
that.
I was like, yeah, what the? I'm like, Sheila! And there's Sheila over here. I'm
I
like,
look way over
and I
here,
could
and
actually
I'm like,
feel
what are you
like, what
talking
the
about?
hell is going on? I was
my
getting
God.
probed, man. I was
Like, I need to go. I'm a good one, guy.
I'm like, this is.
That's the one by the jail.
Yeah, that's one by the jail. So I was like,
Who's
okay.
going? Have you been back in
county
secret?
jail? Just
Yeah, the little one. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was pretty interesting.
So if no one can find Mike, we know where he is.
Yeah. Oh god.
First experience
Yeah.
was the weirdest, but
Oh,
after
yeah.
that,
And what got you to the paranormal? It's like get probed.
I got probed.
Got probed.
So I don't know if you guys if you when you guys walk into a new place, do you with me personally, because I can pick up on a lot of stuff, I don't like to know a lot of the history yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to walk in, do a walkthrough, and then just kind of see what I get what sense of it is. But you guys did the same thing, or?
I know that with Kenny, he took us. We did a little tour of Chenango, of the grounds, but he didn't tell us exactly what happens.
Mhm.
And then as it was coming up, he was like,
Yeah,
"Yep,
oh,
that
yeah, that
happens."
happens.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't gonna like put it into our minds
Wasn't
to
gonna, like-
see.
It's nice to know like what your experience was like that really what happened. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is something that
Yes,
happens.
yeah.
I
He
guess
just knew.
I really don't hold on to the information that long, so it's kind of fresh ground. Even
Like I don't mind a little bit of background, but it's like say a certain room this happens, or if I pick up like I don't like to know names, like especially that. So if I say, oh, well, this name is like we were at Palmyra and I'd been starting to do ghost writing, the automatic writing. That's what Heather told me to start doing. That's one of my gifts I can do, I guess. And I kept getting an M, and then we found out that the owner's mother or Odin's owner's wife was I forget her name, but it started with M. So that's kind of cool. But.
That's crazy.
That is.
I know.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think something creepy at Chattanooga was the spirit box said Lauren, and we were like, oh, like Lauren, because she was right there. Then it says Mike, and we're like, there's no Mike here. And then it says father, and Lauren's dad is named Mike.
Okay.
Oh, and Lauren's like, did my dad die? Like literally, she's like, is it like she's like checking home, like, is dad okay? It's so weird. She must have just been texting him, and someone like looked over and was like,
They've said our full names. I saw your full name up at that cemetery we were at.
What happened at Chattanooga with mine? Just fully said my last name.
Oh,
I
that
never
was
said
weird.
that scared me to do this because I said my first name. That's all I do though. I never mention my last name.
Yeah.
You said last name, that triggered me. I'm like, no.
Exactly.
It's even better when you go to a brand new place, you don't even say your name yet, and they still know your name.
Oh,
Your
Yeah.
last name is fairly common.
I mean, his
that
last
is
name
true.
is Clark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but still, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. Just because it's common. I mean, it's just still, it's like, wow. How about you?
But where did you guys really experience activity other than the chapel area and the Allegheny Courthouse? Because we had a lot of activity on the third floor, furthest right if you're looking at the building directly, and then the basement.
At the poorhouse, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, the basement definitely. I think that's like a vortex. That was creepy. We
Why is it always basements?
what is the one on the like where the house is? It's like the complete opposite side. I forget what side that is, but we were doing a lot of yeah, I can't remember. We did a lot of we were doing the flashlights, and we had like 4 of them, and we were all getting like we had to run out, and they were all going on and off by themselves for like 20 minutes.
We had a jar get pushed off the table.
Oh yeah,
and break
you could see a handprint.
us.
Yeah.
We actually heard this boom. We're like, what the hell is that? And
Yeah.
at that time, I had a broken hand, and it's right behind me when it happened. And I'm out there, and I'm like, that's not me that did it. Because I'm like, oh, Mike did it. I'm like, how can I do it? I got a broken hand. I'm like,
Yeah.
my other
Just
hand.
slam it, broke
Like that.
hand
You
up.
can actually see the hand mark and the slit.
Yeah.
And you see, boom.
That was during
what the hell
that
is
was
that?
during the
And
day.
it smashed, and there
We
was
just got there.
a jar full of nasty crud in it. And it just burst and it flew off the table. I was like, okay. And
I
then
think
that's
that
when
whole
I started
place is
having
haunted.
issues. Like I said, I could feel everyone around me, like they just let them sit there and rot to death. That's pretty much like I got that
Sad,
emotion,
yeah.
and I had to really started crying. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I had to leave. That's how bad it was. It's like, wow. Yeah.
So on the top floor, the furthest close to the house, we actually had 2 candles set up going down the hallway, and then the EDI, but the EDI kept dying because it was low on battery. But the candles like went most of the way out. The one in the back actually went out, and then the other one relit. But there wasn't like any draft that could have hit that spot because we were standing in that area seeing where the wind would move.
Yeah.
And then after that, we came back up and that door was shut, like to the last room, going outside to the balcony.
Yep.
And then it just kept
that's where the
opening.
ladder goes up to the attic too, right? On that side.
No,
right?
that's not
the
that
other
side.
Okay, that's the side.
But it kept doing that every time we would open it. And then the one time we actually heard like audio for it shutting. And then 2 footsteps, which was loud enough that we were talking, but it was heard in the audio of the camera. It was heard like loud enough that it was louder than us talking, but we didn't hear it at all in person.
Oh wow, yeah.
So
that happens a lot
We were
with like
doing that.
extra. We always every time we have our full equipment, our battery. I forget what we ordered just recently. I think it was Naples. I think it was.
Yeah,
we just had
cameras were
full
running
battery,
out left
drained
and
it
right,
instantly.
draining our cameras and
That's how they use
yeah.
energy though.
So they pull energy from the environment, not necessarily.
Or us.
So I was going to ask, is it like, are spirits like limited to what energy they have, or if they just decide to pull out energy from one area and put it in another? That's one thing I've always wondered, and
Yeah, they
Sorry.
say that I think some people have said that they use like the sun almost, and then like that's why at
Yeah, and then
nighttime they're more active because they have
because
that.
they don't have that, so they're trying to use
Interesting.
whatever they can off of you.
Or they use your like I can always tell my I start getting really dizzy if something spirits around me. That's how I can find out. So yeah.
So a fanny pack with a solar powered battery.
Yes.
yeah,
Have two
exactly.
batteries.
Yeah, I've been getting multiple those chargers like that, or the little UPS USB chargers now. The power everything it seems to be because left and right it's always dying on us. So.
From now on, I'm gonna bring a car battery.
Yeah, I
We can
know.
pull the energy from the car battery
They
and
or
enter
I've
it.
seen the
That's
Jacob's
how we used to do
ladder.
the poorhouse. That's what
That's
we had.
how
you
Yeah.
actually
That's how
see
you
it.
did
The poorhouse.
operation.
That's how we had our cameras going. We actually had an actual car battery. We hooked
it's
it
all
up and we
electric,
rigged it up and we put it on a power strip, and that's how we were running our cameras because we had nothing else. We didn't want our cars running all night, so that's what we do to get lights going. We had extension cords through the whole place, and
That's
I
yeah,
wouldn't be
Wow.
surprised
I
if you
wasn't joking
actually
about that,
told them
too.
to use that battery and then
Mhm.
you would actually see apparitions.
Oh, yeah.
That would be like,
Well, you should tell them about that story when you were my brother. We were walking with a shadow.
yeah. We were walking. We were following him, and we thought it was her brother the whole time, and we went to the left, and he went to the right, and I looked back and Adam, where are
I
you?
think he was with
And
us
he
or
was
something.
somewhere
Yeah.
else. Like, what the hell? We were following someone the whole
Yeah.
time.
No
Clear as day, we were
way.
following them, and we thought they were with us, and we were just following them. And then we went to the other room, and they were gone. It's like,
That's ridiculous. Get out, Mike.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
Have a good one.
but the basement's definitely I think
but
the
the
most
basement,
active.
yeah.
There's something demonic down there. That's for sure.
What is it with basements
I don't
and
know.
that it's always just like the most haunted area? It feels like.
Basement or attic, one of the two.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the darkest, quietest place, I believe, for them to kind of keep away if they want you to hide.
They
That's
want
where
you.
they'll go.
yeah.
So
Well,
it's the
yeah, if I didn't want anyone bothering me,
Yeah, that's
like
where
I
I
would go
go.
to a basement or attic, and then
Yeah.
someone like comes up there, I'd be
Yeah.
like, "What are you doing?"
Exactly. Yeah.
But I believe that sometimes they do try to scare us. I remember, I don't mention name, I'm sorry. Kenny was telling us a story, and he goes, "I don't think that this was meant to be terrifying. For the spirit box, it said you're wrong." Like, oh, like first, yeah, in the general store.
Yeah. My brain just was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah.
So I think maybe they know basements are scary.
The general store. That was.
Are basements scary?
Or maybe they
because-
like that spot.
is that
Yeah.
the place
I
we
know.
slept in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, well, me and Paul were originally like, yo, let's sleep in the sawmill.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
one, it was going to be really cold out. So
too
that
cold.
was the reason.
Mhm.
But with the cat balls, I think that's what really, it's like, yeah, no. Because we were originally going to sleep over near that one corner. Because we wanted to really experience the cat balls going off and all that. And then when it really went off and we were in the pitch black, we were like, yeah, we're going to sleep in the general store.
Here's the
It's
thing.
like,
Ours only light up for like 3 seconds,
Yep.
and it stayed lit for 45
I have the
seconds.
same ones, yeah.
Like,
what I thought was weird is how they only did the one. They couldn't do the one near the door.
well, this was the weird thing. Is like there was a scary corner, and whatever was there was stuck in that corner because we had one by the door and we had one in the corner. And I said, okay, corner is yes, door is no. This is how we're gonna talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you light up the one in the corner? And it lights up.
That's all.
Can you light up the one by the door? And the one in the corner lights up. And like whenever we asked, it pretty much would light up, but it couldn't leave
What
the
we could have
corner.
done is one for yes, 2 flashes for no.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about
me
that until
neither.
now.
We were really just peeing our pants.
At that point, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is actually interacting with us.
Oh,
And that
it
was like,
stayed lit. It was
'cause
terrifying.
there was what was the one that was near the Alfred? Was that the
Andover?
yeah, Andover. That
Andover.
was the first one.
But that cemetery up there is creepy too.
The one by the haunted house.
No,
not Andover. I'm sorry, Alfred. Is it Alfred Elma going towards Andover?
Yeah.
There was like Andover. That was the first investigation, but it was not until Chittenango where I really had the first time this really interaction
We have to go with you
outside
guys
of.
because that sounds
You
so
need
cool.
to. You need
Andover
to.
was a tour. It was more for the public to get them like interested in being able to experience it. It was not so much investigation.
Private investigation.
The thing that's neat about the Chittenango, if I can say that, that's actually how it's said, but boat landing on the Erie Canal is that it's like all the original buildings. It's a historical site, and then it has 2 submerged actual ships that were used in the canal.
It has
That's
the
where we do the
last
kayaks.
2 original loading docks.
Oh, wow.
like ever.
Cool.
Yeah.
But actual boats, like they were sunk, but
Mhm.
they
You
were
can
in
see 'em.
operation for the canal.
Oh,
That'd
so
be cool. If we were gonna do a kayak, we should do that near the sunken boats.
No.
We should try. Oh, we should try using.
They
like,
do that.
spear
You can
bodies.
use that to film a lot too, because I took my camera out there and used it like to film. You get different angles and stuff.
What I wanted to do is because I have a GoPro 8,
Mhm.
I just didn't have the latch for the battery,
Mhm.
but I was gonna drop it down into the water
It'd be
and
so
actually
cool.
be able to see it. 'Cause
That'd be
it's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to get one of those?
I don't know. I like the
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
boats. I like the old like
Mhm.
trains and stuff.
Mhm.
Anything that's haunted like
Yes,
that
yeah.
is very neat.
Oh yeah.
I have a little GoPro, but I don't think it goes down the water very deep. So I haven't tried it yet. But
Those boats are crazy. You can see them. Like you
That's
can
so
go
cool.
out and
I
look
never
and
knew
you can
that.
see it like
Wow.
underwater. It's not that deep. Like
Mhm.
it's right there though.
Cool.
Is that the one where there's a body under it so they can't move it legally?
Yeah.
I think so. There's
Yeah.
a body
Oh.
under it,
Oh,
and
wow.
because it's a historic place,
Mhm.
no one can like touch it,
That's
so they
crazy.
can't get the body out from
Mm.
underneath the boat.
Mm.
It's like some homeless guy, not some
Bet you
homeless
they're not
guy.
it, right?
A homeless guy.
Jesus.
No, that was
Somebody
rich.
that worked on the like actual
Oh,
canal
okay.
was probably
Yeah.
the one that was underneath the boat.
Oh,
hmm The inhuman entities there, though. We were told there was the one
There's-
in the sawmill, which
Yeah.
they watched crawl up a banister onto the ceiling.
Oh.
No, and no, because no. But
Demonic stuff. I've had experiences as it freaks out.
the other thing is there was a second one, and I suppose it's the one that more people see. It's very, very, very tall, and towers above. He said like 9 feet tall.
Oh,
And we were
yeah.
asking. They call them false faces. When they look at the
I should
audio,
test that, yeah.
when they look at the audio, there's like the frequency that we can hear, but then
Mhm.
there's a subhuman frequency that pops up for both. Crazy. But we were asking a spirit about the false faces, and someone said, "What do they look like?" And the voice said, "Big."
Mm.
Yeah, and
It's essentially the shapeshifter for the tribe that was there.
yeah. Kenny was telling us about how like you'll frequently see someone like walk past the window, like out your peripheral, and then he realizes like, oh, these windows are 8 feet tall.
Mhm.
There should be nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, 'cause no.
And Paul's saw one, I thought.
Or
Josh, sorry.
Josh thought he was staring right at Kenny, and Kenny's talking over here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I keep hearing my name, by the way. So if you can mark that.
Tara,
I keep telling you, that's the second time I've heard a female voice say my name.
I heard
Really?
growling out there, really.
It was over here. I just heard it
I
on
heard
this side.
growling.
So.
oh, that's just
Kenny, where did you lead us?
Says there a dog.
Nothing's
over
here unless it came with you guys.
No,
I heard
no.
growling earlier.
Maybe it's
Although
a
I
dog
have
or
seen
something.
You got some
a
pushes
shadow
already.
figure one time, but that was a rare instance.
You just want to mark that though, so we can look at
Yeah,
it.
no, definitely.
I hear it all the time. But
Oh my god, the tagging at
Oh my
Chit
gosh,
Mango.
okay.
So I honestly it's probably partially my fault because I never knew how to actually correctly do tags. So I was just tagging everything that happens that wasn't,
So funny.
like coughing. And then we actually end up through the recording, we can hear them saying, catching on, saying tag.
the ghosts
So
were
when
someone's
tagging.
walking-
that's so funny. But it's always cool, like when if you guys are, or if people are trying to get into it and you're
Mhm.
filming, or you've been doing like a recording, like so you say mark it,
I would say mark.
or
that.
you hear somebody whispering, like
Yeah.
some people like in our group, or like a general, like you
Mhm.
whisper, it's like so and so's whispering because you don't want them to think it's
I
you.
remember JD's like, tag, my stomach growls.
Yeah, but you don't remember that, at the time, so
Yeah.
it's good to do
Tag.
that.
Just
Yeah,
walk away,
but
yeah.
Sarah, our friend Sarah, she walked in and the spirit box literally said tag Sarah.
That's so
Like,
cool.
because we were kind of like making jokes about it. Be like, tag, I'm really scared right now. Like, you can probably hear my teeth chattering. But yeah, no, like they totally caught on. They were tagging stuff just the whole time with us. Like, tag this person, tag this person.
That's so cool.
I know, they're funny there.
Mhm.
They're tricksters.
Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a ghost in my basement that won't leave. It's, I think he's a tinkerer, and I think this looks like it told me, but I think it's his spot, so I leave him alone. But yeah, I use kosher salt. That's what I was told. So I use on my doorways and stuff. And as soon as I put that down, I heard a guy go. So like I think I pissed him off a little bit. But, yeah, but you
I
know,
feel like
who knows?
stuff has been around me. It just kind of does its own thing.
Yep.
Respects my privacy,
Mhm.
my time.
Yeah.
Just
Just like when I
respectful
go-
about stuff.
Like
Yes.
back and forth.
yeah, as long as they're good, I don't mind.
It's like
We
when I get
respect them,
home
they
from
respect you, kind of
investigation
thing.
and ghost stuff, I can cut myself off. I was like, you're not following
Not
me,
me.
you're done. As soon as I get home, I can cut right off, and I don't have issues at my house. Like
I have a guy named
Yeah.
Henry that follows me everywhere. Every time we do an investigation.
yeah.
He's not, I was told he's not a bad spirit. I just don't know where he came from, but I said, as long as they're good, I don't mind following me. So
Yep. He just picked him up one day. Henry saw you. He's like, yeah, Sheila.
Yeah.
so if you want to watch over me too, that's fine. But,
Yeah. That's great though.
but yeah, everybody.
But no
has
matter
it.
what time, you should just be able to be like, yeah, you're not allowed here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I always say it's my house, and I'll come here. You gotta tell them how it is, and that's the best way.
Yeah, it's honestly one of my most one of the most feared things was being
Oh, yeah.
attached and they won't let go.
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking like, what do I do to prevent that
Yeah.
kind of thing? And I've been trying to do research,
It's
but
hard, yeah.
I suck one at
'Cause
research.
even
But
when we do Sage, like I think we were at Hinsdale. I forget where we came back from, and that night I was in bed and I could hear dishes moving like on my strainer. But then the next day it was gone. So I think like it's almost like they kind of follow you and then they're like, oh well, we're gonna go back.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
usually we try to say, stay here, you're not welcome. But sometimes it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's usually we always say, like make sure if you're
Did you
good.
hear that?
Yeah, I heard
Did you
that.
hear that?
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that
no,
too.
that-
Okay, just in case.
That
Okay,
was a tink.
there's people actually watching.
See, I told you that's
That's
where I
why I was
heard.
A
hearing growling,
sound
too,
where
up
he
that
heard
way.
growling just came from
That
this
was
little
there, too.
bedroom. We're
See, I
in
told you
RV
that's
right
where
now.
I
I
said
to sit
heard
aside
Sheila
for a
over
second
there.
and check.
Yeah, go ahead. That's actually,
I just want to do a quick glance and check.
you know what?
That's where I said I heard
that
my
got
name was
me.
over in that direction.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we're already getting them. They don't want to know what's going on.
Yeah. They're- You want to talk? You can
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
I guess we
High
really
five.
will have to
A
do a
new
little.
guest for the podcast.
Someone
Yeah.
guest speaker.
Come
Come on
over.
Oh, I could show them if they wanted me to do the Necrophonic app.
That would be really cool.
I could play it for you guys just to kind of give you an example of what.
It is at an hour and 21 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. So we can end it this after this.
I mean, now people are watching though,
Let me see.
JD.
So this is what the Necrophonic. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
I
see it.
think I
So you
see
just push start. It's like a spirit box. But
Someone with us right now.
Sheila.
Sheila.
Said
see,
Sheila.
I told you I was hearing my name. Who's here? What?
You know what, Zach?
Sorry. I didn't mean to set that loud.
We're watching. You hear that?
Yeah, we're watching.
This is the Necrophonic app.
It said hello. It said Sheila.
So we're watching.
Zach just broke
I'm
your
not
door.
coming back. I'm sorry, guys.
Just
freaking out.
What did we say?
Come on.
Just said Penny.
Sorry.
Just said Penny. That's our friend.
I'll just go. I'll just sit
This
over
is
here,
it.
guys. I don't want to break anything.
Zach, pulling a clutch up.
I'm not gonna be able to come back. I
I
got
just said
something-
Art. That's my dad's name. He always pops in.
Really?
Yeah.
That one wasn't me.
Sheila again.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So this is $10 on the App Store. It's really cool.
I want it for my birthday.
We can animate that.
Yeah.
I get paid Thursday, so
Alrighty.
it's kind of
Thanks for watching,
Yeah,
guys.
that's
Thank you for
definitely
having
one of
us.